Man, it's crazy how good their their intro animation is for this unit. But hey guys, Marstinkin here, bringing up a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. We have the LR, Cell and FRIEZA, finally released on Global. They are the new Battlefield LR. You can only get one copy of them from the shop, so obviously this is a 55% showcase. I do have them fully link leveled. I didn't really want to waste like really good skill orbs on them, so I gave them one of these. It's just like 2 crit 1 dodge, because I think I had like 5 of these, and then a 2 dodge and type attack one just to get a little bit of extra dodge. So we got 3 dodge, we have 2 crit, and then we have 5 additional. Can't do much more than that, right, because we can't get any extra copies of them. But these guys are brand new on Global. They lead sworn enemies for 3 key and 130%. Their super attacks, the 12 key raises attack and defense for 1 turn, does colossal damage and has a high chance to stun. The 18 key greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage, and raises extreme class allies attack by 30% for 2 turns. So that is pretty good, right? Get their 18 key, everyone on the next turn gets an attack buff. So they get their entrance animation that we saw. We get 5 key and 40% attack and defense, as well as a medium chance to dodge for 6 turns from the start of the turn, from their entry turn, when there's another sworn enemy's revenge or GT boss's ally on the team. Then they get 3 key attack and defense 140, additional attack and defense 70% when attacking. They give sworn enemies revenge or GT bosses allies 2 key and 30% defense. So they're buffing defense with their passive and then attack with their super. They have a high chance to crit when there's an enemy whose name includes Goku. They have a chance to dodge 20% and attacks effective against all types when the enemy is stunned or sealed. And then chance to dodge 20% and get an additional super when the enemy is attack down or defense down. So against enemies where they can actually get their status lowering effects off, they can be kind of decent. But we did seal these guys, in fact, as well. So, start of turn, we got 200k defense. I probably should put you here to get some build up, though. So, let's get you to attack Swapovich here. And then we have Brutal Beatdown, Shocking Speed, GT Nightmare, and Fear and Faith active on this turn, which is not bad. 200k defense start of turn is not ideal. 70% they get on super. So, they are going up to, what? 300 and something, and then they greatly raise on their 18 key super as well. So we're going to be a bit over 400k defense, close-ish to 450, which is not great. But I mean, at 55%, I suppose it's not necessarily terrible, but it's certainly not a fantastic ability, fantastic level of defense. We're going to go for Yamu here because he's sealed, so we are going to get our extra buffs. And then yeah, Super 17 can build up a little bit here in slot 1. Still taking some pretty big damage here though from Yamu. I mean, it shows you the state that GT Bosses is in though, the fact that this guy is even still arguably kind of runnable, the AGL Super 17. But you know, it is what it is. Alright, so what are these guys doing turn 1 here? 5.65, okay. So get the additional attack, and then we have the dodge chance. Okay, so, you know, are they going to dodge this one? Okay, good. Whew. That's the one we needed to dodge. I mean, they dodged every attack, so we'll take that. Not bad, I guess. Now, against Popovich, with no sort of other defensive tech, they got no guard or damage reduction or anything like that. So, with type disadvantage, we would potentially be looking at a pretty decent chunk of damage if they were getting hit by him. But I guess we'll take that. Getting the baby giant form transformation super early here, which is kind of awkward. Alright, well. I mean, we're fighting a type disadvantage enemy here, so he's going to get absolutely destroyed by Golden Great Ape Baby. And then we can move on, I guess. Because, yeah, these guys, it's interesting that they gave them such a lot of categories that they support, right? It's 3 different categories. And GT Bosses is a team that's kind of in the mud. I guess Sworn Enemies is one of Boo's leader skills. So, technically, you can run these guys on the new Boo's team. I'm pretty sure they don't get his 200% leader skill, though. In fact, let me look up their... let's actually look up their 200% leads. Because, obviously, we're running GT Bosses because it's kind of their main sort of home, I would say. But let's see what we can see here from their 200% lead. So if we go extreme physical LRs, And then let's see what 200 teams they're on. Because obviously GT bosses, I mean, it's Carnival Omega, right? So oh, it's literally just his team. Okay. So they would be getting the 170 from Boo, but it's only the 170%. So they do support sworn enemies, which means they support him. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're probably not worth running on the team, but... yeah, GT bosses is where they're going to share their most links as well. It's again a big shame that they don't have GT bosses, although that is kind of understandable as well. Alright, so let's do... I guess we'll just do this. Get our support here, get the stacks, and then do this. And do this, I guess. I mean, Rildo will be fine in slot 1 here because we've got the full orb field turn. So, still takes 100k from the super in slot 1, but he greatly raises defense on super, so it's kind of a shame that the super had to be before he attacked, because we would tank that quite nicely now. We get the guaranteed crit, of course, because he has, by picking up 23 AGL orbs, he has a 230% chance to crit. So, yeah, you're getting that crit on that turn. And then, of course, Omega and Baby supported here. We've sealed Yakon, which means we can target him with the FRIEZA and Cell. I don't think Baby can stun, but he attack lowers as well. Can this guy be attack lowered? Yakon can. Pui Pui can, but... no, he can't be. So, okay. So... Omega can go in slot 1. They share Brutal Beatdown, GT, Fear and Faith, and Legendary Power. And then we can get Nightmare and Shocking Speed. So they have every single link active except Otherworld Warriors. Still only starting at 200k defense, though. They obviously don't have... none of their links are really giving them a significant amount of defense, which is a shame. So you guys attack your attack and defense down. So let's attack you. And then do that. So yeah, I mean, these guys at 55%, like they've only got one 200% lead team, which is GT bosses, which is a team that just continues to be an absolute meme. And as is always the problem with Battlefield LRs, is you can only get the one copy of them. So you can only have them at 55%. It's going to be at least a month or two until another copy is available so that you can get a first dupe, unlock that bottom right path, and then give them some extra hidden potential abilities. And the biggest problem with Battlefield LRs is just the fact that by the time you're able to actually rainbow them, then they're already almost completely outdated. Like Tech Hachiak has only just been able to be rainbowed on Global. And he could be useful for the Artificial Lifeforms mission against the Beast Gohan event when the anniversary stuff comes. But with all the new Boo team buffs that we've got, you're potentially just going to be running that team instead. I don't know if that Hachiak is actually even on Boo's team. But yeah, it's Battlefield LRs. I don't know why they bother, honestly, anymore to do them like the way that they are. It just seems very odd. You're sealed, so we can actually get Super 17 out here, which is kind of crazy. Don't get to see this very often, so let's get this. And remember, the 18 key super giving the all allies a buff for 2 turns is pretty good. Like on their best turns, like Baby can be pretty crazy. Omega, when he's fully built up, can be decent. So I mean, we do get some interesting options here, or at least we do get some interesting buffs for this team. But yeah, it's GT bosses is still very much in the mud. We need that Dokkan Fest exclusive Baby, right? That's going to be the big thing, whether maybe worldwide or Tanabata. Although Tanabata last year was Goku versus Omega, so I don't expect it to be Goku versus Baby. They don't regularly do the same like arc or movie or something like that for like 2 celebrations, like 2 years in a row. I don't think there's probably an example now someone can mention, but GT is probably unlikely to be Tanabata. Worldwide could have Goku versus Baby, but then the overall theme, I don't imagine it'd be a full GT worldwide celebration, so I'm not sure what the theme for that necessarily would be. I guess we'd have to see. But yeah, here we're now on turn, is it 6? Yeah, so we should still have, actually, do we have our buff? They do have an active skill, which honestly I'd completely forgotten about. So as part of their passive, their thing is for 6 turns from their entry turns. If they came in on turn 2, then it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So obviously for them, their last appearance is turn 6. Their active skill can be activated when there's an enemy whose name includes Goku, starting from the 4th turn, or starting from the 6th turn. Greatly raise attack temporarily, does ultimate damage, and seals super attacks for 1 turn. So we've got Brutal Beatdown, GT, Fear and Faith, and Legendary Power. This will give them their buff for the on super defense raise. So let's go ahead and use the active skill here. I think this is the thing that is basically their... Yeah, this is the thing that is like the solo unit's super attack thing. It's pretty cool. I mean, the thing is with this unit is like, they're a free-to-play unit, they're a Battlefield LR, but like their animations are actually pretty good. It's very odd that they put a decent amount of work into this like free-to-play card, but they're a unit that just isn't going to see a huge amount of use. They got 322k defense here. That's with the on super buff. So they're going to get greatly raised defense buff from their super attack. So we're going to be at about 450. If we get an additional, we can go over 500k defense. But that's not even enough to tank like all the normals that we have in the game at this point. Like especially in these next couple of turns when we start getting on to the actual physical Fat Boo and Barbady. So not exactly crazy impressive, but it's one of those things that, again, like if this was a summonable unit, we'd be doing the 55% showcase, but then we could be saying that, oh well, you know, you get a couple of dupes in them and then they're going to look a lot better if you've managed to rainbow them like straight away. If you got really lucky, then they'll be good, like potentially. But they're not a summonable unit. They're a unit that is time gated for dupes, so we're not going to be able to see them rainbow on global for, I think, is it every month or 2 months Battlefield adds another copy of the card. So we're not going to be able to see them rainbow for at least like 6 months, at least. And by then we're going to have had what? The anniversary content will have come and gone. Worldwide will have come and gone. Well, actually, no, worldwide, yeah, well, I think will just be ending if we're talking about 6 months from now. Or will have been over not that long ago. But yeah, not great for these guys. I really do think, I know Battlefield, they need to give out more currency anyway. This is something that we've talked about on the streams recently. But I don't understand why the units are never made so that if when they came out, if they were rainbow, they'd like break the game. So I don't really understand why they should just add every single copy of the Battlefield LR into the shop immediately. So they're just all available straight away. And then, not necessarily even saying then they would be really good, but like, then at least if you had the points, you could rainbow them. And then maybe, just maybe, they would be a little bit better, right? If these guys were able to be rainbow straight away, we'd be seeing higher stats. We could give them some additional in hidden potential to get that second super, get the extra defense raise. I mean, they probably would be, as a unit outside of a showcase setting, because obviously we're keeping them on rotation because we're showcasing them. They're probably just going to be a floating unit. They're buffing the rotation for defense, and then they're buffing the next turn for attack. So I think that's an interesting sort of support dynamic, because they're buffing the turn they're on defensively, and then they're buffing the next turn that they're not on offensively. So it's kind of an interesting setup. But I do think at 55%, I mean, GT bosses, I mean, what other options do you have? Like, they're one of the better options for the GT bosses team, but that's not saying much, right, when you look at the category as a whole. Now, hopefully, we are actually going to be able to beat this run, because I think we tried a run on stream doing Barbady's Forces versus, GT bosses versus Barbady's Forces, but it was before Cell and FRIEZA came out. So, arguably, if we are able to do it here, it will be kind of thanks to them, which is kind of funny. So, let's see. We could do... if we do Omega's active skill, then he's probably going to kill. So let's do this, and then get the tech orbs for these guys, get the AGL orbs for Rildo, and then I think we should be looking decent here. Both mine and the friend Omegas are only 55% as well, which doesn't help. Because remember, Omega's a standalone Carnival LR, which means for Global, he hasn't actually returned yet. And considering that the Part 2 LR for Golden Week is not a Carnival LR, he's not going to return until... I actually don't even know. Like, how long did it take them to return the STR Carnival Goku? Solo Carnival LRs take way too long to return. I honestly wouldn't be against the Part 2 Golden Week LR being a Carnival LR, just because it means we'd have... Omega could come back on that banner, right, for both versions. Or the LR Super Saiyans, right? They're another Carnival LR that's released. And of course are just waiting for the next Carnival banner before they can actually come back. I know a lot of people... Oof. Yeah, see, now we're on the turn where their dodge chance from their intro has run out. Not good. Yeah, so that's the other thing that's like works against them as well, is they're only really going to be at their full efficiency in longer events. That is a big yikes. We should have the Scouter, though. These guys technically have a Ki Blast Super, don't they? So this actually could work out decently well for us here. Go ahead and do this, and then do this. I don't know how much we'll absorb, and then we're going to get the Dokkan attack, but... 46k. Alright, well, that's not a lot. I think AGL Super 17 might get clapped here. I mean, he's got... I think he's fully built up, and he is going to super first, but... I don't know. I mean, if he manages to survive, I'll be pretty impressed, right? He's a very old unit that has managed to hang in there just because of how good his design for his EZA was. Because obviously if we survive the turn, we're going to get a full heal from the Dokkan attack here. But, I mean, GT bosses, even with getting some more buffs, is not exactly the craziest team. Double super from STR Super 17 here is massive. I'm going to get the crit as well. Nice. It's a lot of damage in one turn. But... yeah. Maybe if AGL Super 17 gets a double super, I think then he would be pretty safe, but... additional normal. What's he taking? Oh, 94k. Oh my god, if Baby... does Baby tank double digits here? Or he could dodge, because when attacking, if his defense is... if his HP's below a certain amount, he does get a decent dodge chance. No, he didn't dodge. GT boss is still in the mud. Well, there you go. So physical, Frieza and Cell, not exactly the craziest unit. You can only have them at 55%. I don't understand what Dokkan is doing when it comes to these Battlefield LRs, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Aesthetically, they're very cool. Like, the art is cool, the LR animation effect is cool, their animations are good, but they just kind of suck, especially at 55%. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.